Random sampling. Okay, so random sampling, as it sounds, is where we choose people or things at random to go into our sample. So a common example of ways you might do that more practically is the kind of names in a hat type approach to picking a team, for example. Okay, now we're going to do this a bit more rigorously because we're doing this mathematically. So how do we go about this? It's basically a two-step process. So the first step is that you need to actually assign a number to every one or everything in the population that you're going to sample. Now, before I go on to number two, this is a little bit of a hiccup with sampling, so to speak, because if you've got a very large population, it may be impractical to actually do it in that way. But if we were just talking about a sample within a class or a small group, then this is practical. Now, once we've assigned a number to everything, then we need to use a random number table. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So here we've got a section from a random number table down here. You might also in practice use either a computer or a calculator to generate the random numbers for you, but in the test situation you will be given a table of random numbers that have been generated previously. So we're going to use those random numbers to select our sample. So we just simply start with the first number in the table, and if that fits with one of the numbers that we've assigned to the population, then that's the first person or thing that's going to be sampled. And we keep going along like that. Now, what we do is we ignore any duplicates. So if the same number comes up again, you can't sample the same person again or the same thing again. That doesn't make sense. So we ignore those and just skip over them. We would also ignore any numbers that weren't assigned to a thing or a person in the first step. So let's look at this in practice. Right, so I just need to turn this around, squeeze that in. So here we have a situation where there are 10 competitors in an athletics event, and we've got the names of them here with the particular thing that they're going to do. So we've got Jimmy jump, Dick discus, Sam shot, and so on. So it asks us to use this list of random digits here to get a random sample of 3 for drug testing. Okay, so the first thing that we've got to do is label or assign a number to every person, in this case in our there. So we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now we're going to look at these random numbers that we're going to be given, and we're going to use those to help us pick our sample here. Okay, so you'll notice these are 2-digit numbers. That's quite traditional here. Okay, so we want a sample of 3. So 26 isn't one of our numbers, so we ignore it. 60, 49, 50, 99, 93, none of those are part of our sample, so we're just ignoring them. So here comes the first one that's going to work for us. This one is 5. So that means we go and look at what's 5 here, and 5 was Harold, who's doing the hammer. So that's the first person in our sample. So we keep going. 90, 93, no good. 6 is the next one, so we go and find out what 6 is. So we've got Harry Hop. Okay, now as I move along, you'll see here that right after the first 6 I've got another 6. Well, I'm not putting Harry Hop in twice. That doesn't make any sense, so we're ignoring that. Okay, so 47, 98, 46, 57, 80, 94, 42. We're ignoring all of these because they don't fit ours. 60, 86, 2. So 2 is the next one that fits. I go and look up 2, and 2 in this case was Dick, who's doing the discus. So those are the 3 people that are going to be tested as our sample. Let's do another 1 or 2 of these. Okay, so here we have the council wants to talk to the residents of a street to discuss a proposed street party. The houses in the street are numbered from 1 to 57. Use the list below to identify a random sample of 10 to visit. Okay, now here we've got just a string of single digits. We don't need to do the labelling because the houses have already labelled themselves because they've got numbers on them from 1 to 57. But because we need double digits, we're going to need to effectively split up this list here into pairs of numbers and use it in that way. Okay, so let's just finish doing that. And then we're just going to do as we did before. And just reminding myself, so they want 10 houses, 10 residents, 10 houses. So 71, that's too big because we only go up to 57. 95 is no good. So the first one will be house number 43. 59 is too big, so the next one will be house number 16. 84 is too big. 53 fits, so that's the third one. Then we've got 21, so that's 4. 76 and 70 we're ignoring, they too big. 12 is the next one, so we're up to 5. 33, that's 6. 70, no. 22, yes. So let me just double check. Yep, that's 7, so we want 3 more. 63, no. 71, no. 35, yes. Now the next one says 33, but it's already in our list, so we've got to ignore that. So we go on to this one, which is 23. Let me just double check. I think we need one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so one more needed. 65 is no good. So 24 is the last one. So those are the numbers of the houses that we would go and survey. Okay, final one coming up here. So we've actually got that same list of numbers that we're going to use for this one. I'll bring that in a minute once we've had a look at this. So this time it says the ages in years of the members of a computer club are listed below. So we've got all the names of the people and their ages. Okay, so now it says number the club members from 1 to 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, so then here it asks us to take a sample of 5 members. So we'll bring in our numbers here. So again, we're going to have to see this as being split up into pairs of numbers so that we can get our sample. So we only want 5 this time. Just finish this, and our numbering system goes from 1 to 24, so anything bigger than that, we're not counting. So 71, 95, 43, 59, 16 is the first one, and 16 is Nigel, who is 14 years old. Okay, so 84, no, 53, 21. So 21 here is Nadia, who is 16. 76, no. 60, no. 12. So the next one we want is 12. 12 is Ferdy, who's 11. We want two more. So 33, no. 70, no. 22. So 22 is Hugh, who's 14. We need one more. So 63, 71, 35, 33, 23. So 23 is Ben, who is 13. Okay, so there's our sample of 5. Okay, now in this case they've actually, I'm not going to go on and do it, but it then says calculate the mean age for your sample. So we'd add the ages up, divide by 5, and that would give us our mean age. Okay, all right, so it then in part C asks us to use the list of random digits in question 1 in reverse order, so go the other way in order to get a second sample. Okay, so that's one way, if we're going to use the same set of numbers, that we can create a different sample. Another way that you can do it is not to start at the beginning. So you could generate a random number to decide where you're going to start at the beginning of these systems. So, you know, could generate random number that was 6. So that would mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would mean that I would start working from here and go round, and if I ran out, then I'd come back to here. So if you're going to use the same numbers for the similar sort of purpose, you can't keep doing it in the same way, otherwise you'll always get the same sample, and that wouldn't be a fair way of doing stuff. Okay, all right, so that's random sampling.